Entry-level jobs in Europe are disappearing. For a young European today, landing that first crucial gig to launch your career can feel impossible. Companies are simply not hiring young people without experience. As a consequence of this, youth unemployment in the EU is now at 15%. That's nearly 1 in 6 young people not going to work in the morning. That is an absurd amount, but it's not even the most outrageous part, because it's not like Europe is suffering from a general joblessness. The unemployment rate in general is around 5%, and that is considered healthy, so this is not an issue of unemployment. This is an issue of youth unemployment. With America, China, Russia, and India all racing to the top in this new AI era, Europe is being left behind. If Europe wants to compete, we need to get our youth onto the job market. This is serious, but how the hell did we get here? And how do we fix it? Let's find out. Let's look at what an entry-level job actually is. Back in the day, the idea of an entry-level job was pretty simple. It was a real job where the company knew you were fresh and didn't expect you to know everything yet. The idea was, if you just show up and you're reasonably smart and willing to learn, then they'll bring you up to speed. The company invested in you. While you were learning, you got paid. It was a great concept, and it worked for a long time. The problem now is that the actual work those entry-level jobs were built around have sort of ceased to exist. Let's go back to the year 2000. Think about what a junior hire would actually be doing. They'd probably do a lot of manual, basic work, like adding numbers to a spreadsheet, processing paperwork, taking notes, or refilling their boss's coffee mug. Most of these tasks were repetitive, process-based, and not particularly complex. And that was fine, because while you were doing it, you were also learning. It was a win-win for you and the company. Then, a lot of these tasks got eaten up by software, and later, AI. The work that justified having an inexperienced youngster around kind of just disappeared. Throughout the mid-2000s, this started to become more common. It accelerated after 2010, and reached a whole new level post-COVID-19, when companies went remote and realized just how much could be digitized. Basically, the need to hire inexperienced youngsters has been reduced. Companies these days naturally have less need to bring them on board. Well, that sucks, but it's made 10 times worse by something else: Europe's strict labor laws. You see, in a lot of European labor markets, employment laws are pretty strict. Hiring someone on a permanent contract means you're taking on a real commitment. If you decide down the line you want to let them go, it can easily become expensive and legally complicated. So, given how much of the basic work that can now be automated, the recent graduate who needs time becomes something of a liability. Their work is less valuable, and the risk of hiring them is higher. The rational strategy became, only hire when you're completely certain, and only hire someone who contributes immediately. So, European governments tried to fix this. Desperate to reduce youth unemployment, governments started to introduce subsidized work schemes. Basically, trainee contracts where the state covers part of the wage for the first year or two. In Spain, France, Italy, and others, companies could hire a young person at significantly reduced cost, sometimes with near zero social contribution costs. On paper, it sounds like a great idea, but in practice, the incentive structure is a disaster. What ended up happening was, a company would gladly accept the government subsidy, they'd get the junior level work done cheaply, and after a year or two when the scheme ends, they'd just hire the next person on the next scheme. Across Europe, the conversion rate to permanent employment is, in many cases, pretty low. There's research from Spain specifically showing these contracts are frequently used as a source of cheap, flexible labor rather than as a genuine bridge to permanent employment. The number of entry-level jobs out there didn't just go down. The government even introduced their replacement. This is affecting all of Europe, but it looks a little different depending on where you go. Spain and Italy are where it hits the hardest. Internship culture has become deeply embedded, and the labor market is highly dual, meaning there's a big gap between people on permanent contracts and everyone else, and family connections still fill gaps that hiring processes should. Spain has a youth unemployment level of 23 remarkable percent, meaning an entire generation of young people have no clear path forward. France has the Grandes Écoles system, which essentially means that if you came through the right schools, the ladder still exists for you. Outside that track, it's considerably harder. Germany has the Ausbildung apprenticeship system, which is genuinely good and partially fills this gap, particularly for trades and some white-collar roles. It's under pressure and it doesn't cover every industry, but Germany is a meaningfully better story than the southern European countries. If we look at the Nordics, they handle this better than most of Europe. They invest heavily in active labor market policies. Things like strong apprenticeships, quick job coaching, and youth guarantees. This means shorter gaps between finishing education and actually starting work. They're not completely immune to automation and degree inflation, but the problem is noticeably less severe than in Spain or Italy. Eastern Europe is a different problem. The entry-level jobs still exist here, at least sometimes, but the issue here is that they pay so little relative to cost of living, and relative to what's available further west, that they're hardly even worth pursuing. Young, skilled people in Romania, Hungary, or Poland leave. They pack their Eastern European bags and head west. All in all, the issue appears all over the continent, just in slightly different forms. Overall, this is the messed up situation we're in. Entry-level jobs are vanishing, and its effect on society is massive. It's way deeper than just young people don't have pocket money to go to Starbucks. The most obvious consequence is delayed financial independence, home ownership, starting a family, building any kind of stable life. It all gets shelved. Then there's the class dimension to this. An unpaid internship in a city like Paris, Amsterdam, or Milan costs about €1,000 a month to do, once you factor in rent and living expenses. Rich kids can absorb that. Their parents cover it. Working class kids can't. So, the people who even have a chance of getting to the other side of this are mostly those who are privileged. The fact that the bottom of the career ladder is disappearing doesn't hit everyone equally. It hits hardest the people who most need that ladder. Now, let's not even talk about the psychological cost of this. The idea that you're doing everything you were told to do, getting the degree, going through the internship, showing up on time, and still being stuck. Still being told you don't have enough experience. That's messed up. That does something to your entire sense of self-worth. And you feeling bad about yourself is not good for anyone. So, now to the most important question of all, is anything happening? Are we going in the right direction on this? Well, maybe. In 2023, the European Parliament voted to ban unpaid internships. That's good, but the follow-up legislation has been weak. Not a lot has actually happened in that area. Instead, the EU is trying to push for traineeships as the standard, but the rollout has been slow. Apprenticeship reform is on the agenda in multiple countries. And there are also some companies that genuinely run structured graduate programs that work well and convert to permanent roles. Also, in the midst of all the talks of AI taking jobs, there are talks of new basic entry-level jobs being created in the process. And that's not some naive tech bro take of why don't the truck drivers just become data engineers? It's more like new junior-like roles could emerge around AI operations. Things like refining the AI prompts, reviewing the AI output, labeling data. This sort of work could become the new entry-level jobs. But whether it scales into something that meaningfully replaces what automation removed is an open question. We straight up don't know. But let's be honest here. In Europe, change takes time. It's slow, really damn slow. And at the end of the day, the incentive problem at the core of this hasn't been solved at anywhere near the scale it needs to. As long as it's cheaper and safer to hire an intern than a junior employee, a lot of companies will keep doing that. So, that's what happened. The bottom of the career ladder got hollowed out by automation. Companies rationally responded to rigid labor laws by hiring more conservatively and stopped investing in junior hires. Governments tried to duct tape the problem by subsidized schemes that mostly helped companies avoid the problem rather than fix it. The result is a generation of young Europeans who are educated, willing, and capable, who just cannot get their first job. They cannot launch their career. I don't have a simple why don't they just type of solution. I just hope that we figure this out. It's absolutely crucial if we want to be competitive in the world and not have to rely on the US, Russia, or China. Europe can and should become the strongest, most powerful civilization in this new, multipolar world we live in. As a European, that's what I'm hoping for. But to do that, we need to get our youth onto the job markets so they can start contributing.